Welcome back to Dat Game, the show where we take a look at video games with sexy, sexy covers. I'm Shades, and this is the Visual Novel Marathon. And because this is our first full Dat Game review for the Visual Novel Marathon, I decided to do a classic. Today we're reviewing Monster Girl Quest. Monster Girl Quest comes from the shores of Japan by Tora Tora Resistance, and later translated by a user known as Rogue Translator. Rogue is known in the community as a god for taking this task on and bringing the series to English shores. So far, Monster Girl Quest has 3 games in the trilogy, and a new set currently being developed called Monster Girl Quest Paradox. The games have gained much fandom as they've created a wide community and a bunch of fan-related games. But today we're just taking a look at the first chapter of the series. I mean, these games have a lot of content in them. I mean, they're visual novels and RPGs all rolled into one. I'm only one man, so you get what you're given. And you know what? Eat your veggies while you're at it too! Monster Girl Quest is set in a world where monsters take on the form of women. And these monsters crave one thing and one thing only. A steady income and a loving family. Nah, they just want to suck your dingus. Yeah, so these women love the nectar. But in order to avoid such an event, we must get baptized by the goddess Elias. We play as Luka, who is a soon-to-be warrior and is ready to go out on a quest. But not just any quest. Most warriors want to fight and kill monsters, but Luka wants to end the war and bring peace amongst the humans and monsters. But a monster attacks his village just before the ceremony, and with choices given, I decide to face the enemy head on. I mean, it's a slime girl in a Japanese video game. What could possibly go wrong? So below is our health bar, and just above that is a set number of choice of attacks. Still using the basics of a visual novel layout, it works quite well for a number of options. Attack is your basic move, but sometimes it won't work first up if you're pinned. There are certain skills you can learn on your journey that are much more powerful than attacks, and just below that is struggle, which helps you to break free from the grip of the enemy. Once you have, you can make the next move. If not, well, guess you'll be going down the path of the lewd. Also in the menu are guard and wait, which do the same thing, minus the defense option. Whoops! I've dropped my sword! I hope no slime girls slime me! Oh jeez! So the sexy routes are fantastic, each with descriptive narrative, and as you unlock more, you get more movesets and poses. Yeah, your death will be at the end, but in the brief moments before that, you can enjoy some monster loving. Each monster has been drawn separately, so you can tell they put a lot of effort into the creation of the battle sequences. It's one of the few times I would actually tell you to lose in a video game, because you would miss some of what the game's offering. This is part of the game that's quite clever in its writing. The idea of being baptized saves you from these encounters, but missing the ceremony, you're weak to their advances. And don't worry, there are other scenes in the game that you can get without having to die. Whoops! I dropped my sword again! Start with the dick. After slaying the slime girl, we venture forth with the morals that monsters and man can live together in peace. And thus, he signs the Declaration of Independence, and Monster Masumi is born.
Just then we hear a large thud sound in the clearing. A snake girl is lying there unconscious. Should we help her or get one last chance to be baptized?
Ah, fuck that! I can do it myself with just a flick of water! Yeah, baptize! Come at me! Wakey wakey, snaky!
She awakens to not know where she is. She was thrown miles away from home. Our hero thinks though that a baptism to protect our dick is the right move and tries to get away, but she coils around us.
This isn't what it looks like.
We escape and make it back to the village, but it's too late.
Oh no. Whatever shall we do? My orgasms need to be protected. Fuck off, you dipstick.
Well, we head back home in a sulk to find that the snake girl has ventured into our house.
Guess she just slithered in. No one? Not even boo.wave? Guys suck.
Before we go any further, I figure I should explain the pause menu. With our skill set and items, it's much like an RPG menu. Also included is a Monsterpedia where we can keep tabs on all the monster girls we encounter. So our snake waifu, known as Alice, decides to tag along on our adventure, as she thinks it would be absolutely hilarious to see us fail at bringing the union between the monsters and man together.
Or die trying. I mean, it's pretty fucking sweet you die from orgasms in this game. That's a great way to go.
We travel around town to say our goodbyes, but it's more like the time that you go to your family gathering, you know, and everyone reminds you how much of a disappointment you are, that you missed the baptism.
Fare thee well, young lad. Enjoy your quest to get laid. I never had faith in him. He was such a dropout. Farewell, good luck.
After that, we meet with Alice outside the city and begin our journey to the Monster Lord's castle. But in order to do that, we must travel across 3 continents to do so.
Fuck, better drink a lot of water. Dick's gonna get parched.
Before we leave though, we bump into a slug girl who gives us the once over. With her... slug? I mean, where do you put it? Alice teaches us a move to take down monsters in the future. Something more stronger than our original attack. Demon Decapitation. A move that does a considerable amount of damage. And we'll need it for what lies ahead as we uproot a Mandragora. We reach the town of Eliasburg. Alice disguises herself with legs for days, and we head forth to find a monster swordsman making quick work of the town's guards. There is no way we can take her. With our sword, that is. But if we don't try, Alice will abandon us. And like hell, I'm letting that sexy snake out of my sights. Have at thee! But before we begin the fight, Alice just steps in and frightens the sexy swordsman off. Which gives me the impression that Alice is more than what we have bargained for. Legs for days, a commanding voice, and begging for our body. I can close my adult monster finder account. I found my lady. We spend a night at a hotel where Alice gives us some special resistance training. You know, since we haven't been blessed and all that.
It's only fair.
Stopping by the local armor shops, we pick up a few goods, get equipped, and get ready to head on our way.
To be honest, I was gonna say that this was a weird outing. But right up until this point, it's actually been quite... Please, what's the go quest? I'm not ready! I'm not ready! Let the demons out! Baptize me!
Anyways, besides the huge story quest across the land, there are loads of extra scenarios. Fans themselves, along with the creators, put in some extra battles, from zombie girl attacks, dragon girls, and even a pot of dinner.
Shade, it's time for the ultimate battle! Have at thee! Pot of stew!
Monster Girl Quest is a game of legend. People talk to me about this game all the time, telling me to review it and how great it was. Seeing it for the first time, finding out it was a dynamic visual novel with dungeon crawling elements. And they were right. The game holds up even today, with Alice's story as well as the worlds becoming more thick as you play the game. And there's a fairly decent art style. Slightly aged, but still good. Great scenes from battling and training, and a world of adventure. The options at first are pretty standard for a visual novel, but as you go on, things start to matter as your morals are in check. Will you give in to the girl's requests, or free the world from the monster lord? I'd say this game is pleasing. It has a great blend for a game of its time, and for the following that it's gained over the years, I would love to review the sequels in the future.
Well, that's it for this episode of Dat Game. I'm Shades, and this is the visual novel. Please God, make it stop! Make it stop!
Hey guys, thanks for watching. If you want to keep up to date with the latest DAT goodness, click the subscribe button, and don't forget to click like on this video. Also, if you guys want to see some exclusive and uncensored DAT Game episodes, including extra content, you can support us on Patreon. And if you want to wear DAT Game, you can head on over to our store and get some sweet Shady shirts and merch. Thanks again for watching.
Oh, that's hot! What is that? What is that? What is that? Seriously, who came up with that design? I can only imagine them sitting around late one night trying to come up with one more monster to put in Monster Girl Quest, and then one guy was like, hey, you know what would be a really good idea? Let's do a line of fucking coke. Ooh, yeah! I've got a good one! You know what I'm gonna do? I'm gonna do this. Bloop! Boo! That's what I got, boys!